What's up, ladies and gents, and welcome back to Killing Floor 2. As you can see, the summer Sideshow event has started. Now, what I thought we could do was jump into... Actually, you can change the map, that's interesting. Jump into the weekly challenge mode. And obviously do it on the new map, as this is probably the most interesting thing right now. So, apparently the Zeds are exploding when you kill them. I have read the text, perk level 15+, not sure why that is. It sets the difficulty to hard and the length to 7 waves automatically. Now, I thought, well, if they explode, maybe they do actually damage you. And if they do damage you, then maybe a class that is rather speedy could be good.
Oh, come on.
Now, I have played this map once before. Where am I? And having played it only once, I'm not very comfortable on it yet. Obviously. Yeah, they do hurt you. You have quite the range though, if you think about it. They do have quite the range. So, what? Why was there an explosion? What the hell? Well, it is kinda obvious why they made this a hard difficulty game mode. Because having, like, the Zeds explode on your face on Hell on Earth is probably quite the challenge, let's put it that way. That's probably quite the challenge. However, I could unlock it for Hell on Earth just for the super hardcore crowd, you know. The ones that always cry the game is too easy. That could be something for them. That was a bad shot. So I've played this map before on solo once and played it once on multiplayer, and both times held up here, and I must admit it does work rather well. This is a pretty good spot actually. Die! What the fuck? Oh boy. So, I got a question if I'm gonna make, like, when I do my guide video, if I'm gonna make like a Berserker video, like I do for quite a few other maps. And obviously I didn't know yet because I haven't played the map at that point, but honestly, I must say I'm probably going to pick this spot and a gun-focused perk. Now, why a gun-focused perk and not Berserker? I think this spot is easier to hold when kiting the map as Berserker. Now, I'm not sure yet, I haven't tested it enough yet to make a definitive statement on this. I haven't actually played Berserker on this map, so I'll have to test this out. But this is a very reliable spot, and I also think, like, if you're kiting and you get the auto-raged flesh pound spawn, which is now a thing, and I have heard that they also don't stop raging even if they hit you, then Berserker, if you're not in a spot where you actually can get a kill, could be in trouble if you have to kite and you constantly get hit and whacked in the face. So maybe holding a spot here is a little bit easier. That one hurt. But like I said, I will have to try it out. So what do I think about this new weapon? Now first of all, for its price, it is very powerful. I did shortly try it on Hell on Earth and it's not bad. I mean, obviously here on Hard you can basically one-shot everything, but like I said, for its price it's very good. I mean, you always have to think, oh, what do I pay and what do I get? Obviously you don't get a railgun type weapon for, like, what does this cost, 650? That's not gonna happen. Yes, Batman, that's great. The armor's probably not necessary, but you know, whatever. Not gonna use any other weapons, so might as well buy armor, right? So you compare it, you pay 650. Now, what are other weapons in that category, the tier 2 category, and how do they perform? And I must say this is actually one of the better tier 2 weapons out there, because I honestly think this has use up to late waves. Especially because it has such a low weight that you can apparently, I have not confirmed this yet, but apparently you can carry a crossbow and a magnum with this. And that is some serious firepower if you think about it. But again, we'll have to figure this out eventually. It is very early, the update just released. So obviously we should still hold off a little bit until we have played this more and have some more experience on this. That one hurt. I guess the armor wasn't too bad of an idea after all. Wow, this is pretty painful. I didn't expect this to be so punishing. I mean, yes, they explode, but didn't expect them to deal that amount of damage. Actually, I don't want to take all that full damage.
That's great. Keep it up.
Now, I have read about some challenges that are apparently out there. I haven't done any of that yet. I think tossing Dosh is apparently one.
There's Zeds on the scope.
So we'll just do that. But so far so good. I mean, this update was pretty long awaited. The achievements have been out like forever, which is something I'm not a big fan of. But, you know,
Zeds are getting closer.
the map looks promising. It has a very gritty feel to it, which I like.
Break time's over. Get back to work. More Zeds inbound.
The Zeds have a very dark and gritty theme to them, despite having the circus type theme. So I like that. It's kind of a return to the roots. I mean, not really, but kind of. And I like that. The designs are very good. The reskins are very good. The weapons so far seem good, useful, but not overpowered. And for once they seem to be tier 2 weapons that have a real purpose in being used later on. Like, I can see myself building these weapons into my usual builds that I am using. And that's really all you can ask for, right? Now, truth be told, I haven't used this weapon on Sharpshooter yet, and I think it's intended for Sharpshooter, but damn is this fun on... what is this called? Gunslinger. It is fun on Gunslinger, I must admit that. And I was really hoping that you could use this on Gunslinger. And honestly, I haven't used Valar much on Gunslinger. But when I did, I wasn't too big of a fan of it.
Make for the pod and gear up.
As we kill one of the new Scrakes.
I saw how you tore that
I wasn't
Scrake
that
up.
much of a fan of Valar on the Gunslinger perk.
Vous savez?
But this seems really cool. I like this weapon a lot.
Bonjour. Come and get your tools of trade.
Now first, when they introduced that announcement, where they said, well, it's basically going to be a Lar with a scope, the immediate thought was, well, musket, obviously. I mean, that's basically what the musket was, right? A Lar with scope. But this doesn't play like the musket too much. I mean, first of all, you don't have a magazine, you have to reload individually, but that has its pros and cons, obviously. I mean,
Time's up.
you don't need to do a full mag reload if you just fire 2 shots, and I'm one of those people that always likes to keep his ammo stocked up. So I reload a lot. And I think having a magazine kind of benefits those people that like to empty their weapons. Which I don't always do. Unless you're in a situation where it makes sense. Ah, there is a raged flesh pound. Now, that was one of the auto-raged flesh pounds that I was talking about earlier. I think they don't appear on hard. I cannot confirm this, I am not sure. I don't have the entire update news up off top of my head. And obviously I didn't care much about hard when I read those. Oh, that was another bad shot. Wow! That was an explosion, I guess. So, I really don't know if they usually appear on hard. I think that's just, that was idiotic. I think that's just fixed for the weekly challenge thing, so that they also
Last one.
appear on hard in this weekly challenge. Which I do like. I mean, the weekly challenge should be some sort of a challenge, at least to a wide variety of players. I think it should be accessible. I think it should be possible for players. But I think it should also provide something that will challenge people. Now,
We're almost out of time. Make your choice.
I was a little skeptical when I first read about the auto-raged flesh pounds. Actually, let's not beat around the bush. I was very skeptical. And some people have basically declared pub games for dead at that point, because they were already very messy, very chaotic, which is the nature of public games.
All Zeds on the scope.
And having auto-raged flesh pounds, which basically negates your typical, well, freeze them with a freeze grenade and then kill them with 2 railgun shots type tactic that you often see. That just makes it even more chaotic. But from the little experience I have so far with this... That was a bad shot. From the little experience I have so far with this update, I honestly can't say that it hurt too much. But then again, we had a Zerka tanking for us. So, there is that. I think if you have a Zerka tanking and you quickly have the team focus it down, it's okay. But I still see situations where I probably agree with people that this might be a little much for many players. was terrible.
Picking them off. Hey, kid.
Finish the last one
Wow!
so I can open the trader.
That actually adds quite the suspense to the gameplay, which I kinda like. As we keep tearing these guys apart.
Perfect.
Kill that last.
Again. Let's get you restocked.
Where's the weapon?
That's Craig.
Actually, why did I buy these? I don't know. I didn't want to use anything else. Oh well. We haven't used them yet, right? So that does add quite the suspense, because at first, in the previous builds, you still had to deal with flesh pounds relatively quickly,
More Zeds on the way.
for the simple reason that they would start raging eventually, whereas from Scrakes you could just walk away, you really didn't have to care about them at all. Unless you were trying to hold a spot like here, then obviously you need to kill everything that comes by, but now with the flesh pounds being raged automatically as they spawn, first of all they reach you very quickly because they start running immediately. And second of all,
Time's up.
it is such an immediate threat, especially because they keep raging, that there is no way you can take your time with them. You can't just, like what was often done, you know, parry the flesh pound attack, then run away, heal up, kill some other stuff in the meantime, and still kind of work your way around that. You have to take care of the flesh pound now. This thing is no joke. And I think that was the intention.
Your warm-up.
Obviously, they probably thought of that. If not, then that's a bad job. But if that was the intention, then that is a job well done, because that is exactly what they reached. We might have to drop down, I don't know. No, we're fine. Oh, there's another one. Jeez, I can't hit anything. Yeah, let's jump down. Yeah, scream a little bit. So as you could see, they do keep raging. They just don't stop. They keep going, keep going, keep going.
That's the important them.
And that can cause trouble. No doubt, that can cause trouble.
That's nice.
Oh, there is a staircase.
Procrastinator takes it.
Okay, that immediately makes this camp spot a lot worse. I actually thought the only way down there was this, and you couldn't get like up here. That would have made this a rather interesting camp spot as
I
well.
saw the way you took down that flesh pound.
But
It didn't stand a
obviously that's
chance.
not a thing, right?
Magnifique.
Right. So what do we do for the boss?
Glad you made it back. Don't bleed on anything.
Kinda don't want to use this. We go hardcore? What do we do? Let's go magnums.
We're almost out of time. Make your
I've also used the new shotgun. The HC-12, I think. What's it called?
Bonjour. Come and get your tools of trade.
Where is it? There, HC-12, yeah, that's what
Time's
it's called.
almost up. Vite.
And I must say that it's actually pretty good for its tier, and
Break time's
I was
over.
trying a combination. I will upload that video. Maybe it is already uploaded. I don't know in which order I will release them, but my weapon combo was the HZ, the double barrel, and the new M4. With the new M4 also being really good.
Something
Obviously the M4 is new, it just also got an update as we kind of... as we try to... No! Stop! Where are you going? Shit.
Reminds me of that bar in Amsterdam.
Ah, fuck. That didn't quite work out as we intended. Oh, go! Oh, God.
That's nice.
A bad idea. Alright, we shall take our time, I guess. Yeah, we'll run. I don't like your rockets. No! Shit.
Down they go. Right, here comes Cat on legs.
This weapon is fun. This game mode is fun, to be honest with you. I mean,
Just picking them off.
so kind of exploding theme is pretty cool to play, honestly. I mean,
The Bostinator takes
well, let's use these a little bit. Nope. Now this is also a very easy spot to do the boss fight in. So that is another purpose I can do with this video, show you an easy spot to do this boss fight. Especially if you get the Patriarch. Ouch. 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 I'm probably more afraid of the trash than the boss. Where is he? Left.
got a close edge.
I can use the sound. Sound is important. That didn't work.
Right, we've got a sneaky one.
What I don't like is that you can no longer see how many Zeds are on the map, like in KF1. When the trash spawned, you could still see how much trash was spawning in the boss wave. In this game, you don't actually see that. And how do we go for a kill? Let's just do this. And he explodes! And that's already it. That's the weekly game mode. Or a weekly challenge, or however we want to call this. See if a golden... Yeah, it's golden now, isn't it? That's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this. The weekly outbreak on the new map. We did showcase the new gun. I think Gunslinger is pretty fun to play. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, farewell.